All right, good morning, all. Um, Welcome to another episode of Java JSE, Java SE, and GUI development. That is GUI development. Today we shall discuss on database connectivity and insertion of tuples, Jdbc configuration, testing of Jdbc configuration, all these DB settings and prepare statement, and all this. We are going to be solving a kind of problem. This is our a scenario. We want to achieve this. We're going to generate the GUI and then we integrate the database and we insert it and we add in all the functionalities for the same button. Let us start without wasting time. I'm going to create a new fresh project. We call it, okay, we're having one project here. Okay, this detector. So let's call it a Java. Let's say CCL 2021 enrollment, for example. Then you finish, right? It creates a project for you, CCL 2021 enrollment. Right click onto it and create a class. The class should be, for example, CCL enrollment. We need our main method and we need constructor. I think that's all. So this is now our class. This is the end of the class. This is the end of the what? Main method. Let me quickly create the class, the instance of the class here, so we don't forget as we've done the other time. All right. So it calls this whenever we run the program, because the Java program start running from main. So when it executes from here to here, it calls the entire thing. And then this is the end of the constructor. All right. So of course it is a GUI application. It has to extend what? JFrame. Of course it has to extend JFrame. So let us see the variables the components we need are CCL number, so I can type to declare these variables here. This is where we declare variables: private txt CCL number, so it tells you that you have to import what okay, private jtext field CCL number. It has already imported a swing for you. Please make it all. Make this asterisk so it import all swing components. And then we need like 3 of this. This is txt email ID, and I have txt program. So these are the txts we need. Now to the level, private J label CCL number, and I have label email ID and label program. Now we need a button. Okay, so the program is not txt, it is a combo box. It is a combo box. J combo box. So I have combo program. This is the reason why we made it combo. This, because we already know the list of programs we're offering here. So, but this is correct. And now private J button btn C. It is the only button we have, even though we need to have a clear. But that doesn't mean. Let's stick to what we have so we can finish on time. So let us initialize all these things here. If you pick your txt, you now say new JText flow, so it's specified. Let us give it like number. Let's give it let's say 12 characters, 12 length. So I also have a txt for email ID. New. Let's also give it 12, for example. And then we have combo. I have combo program. Combo program equals to new J combo box. So then I'll call this and I'll add item. This is how you add item into combo. Add item. The first thing is select. Select what? Program, right? This is what it shows. But then you need to continue to add items on it. CCL adds a lot of upper programs like advanced ICT training, for example, things like basic things like medium should have come immediately after, but team material, things like Java SE, also have Java EE, we have cloud, dev. Please, let's leave it as it is like this, right? So the next is we initialize our labels. The labels are txt, sorry, LBL, CCL number, This is what user sees. CCL number. Anything right here, user sees it. LBL email ID. Email. Then LBL label program, right? Label program equals to nobody is following. No, you can't just be following and you keep quiet. Where I'm right, you said yes. Where I'm wrong, you said no. You cannot just be looking and you claim you follow. You're doing nothing. You're just warming benches, right? Program. How do I know whether there is an error somewhere? btn says equals to new btn, so you give it save as a label, right? So I need to create panel here. Forgot private J panel, and then I give it panel. Right, so I'll go with the panel here. Should be the first thing you create, you initialize here. Panel. So here, adding component on what? On the panel first. So panel.add, first component I should add is the label for the what? CCL number. This CCL number means CCL registration number. After this, I will add txt for the CCL number. Then I'll move to email ID. Then I'll move to program. The program in here is not txt, rather it is combo, and it is the only combo we have, the combo box. Next is the button. So I add the button, which is btn save. Then after all this, we need to add the panel itself into what? Adding panel on what? On the JFrame, which we set this dot add panel. Alright, so let us run our program and see how it runs. Anything here? Okay, I'm sorry. It's running, but we didn't call the visibility. See, that's why I say you guys are not with me at all. Calling the page settings and what? Visibility. So this dot set visible. It's only when you say true that you see it. Then you set title and set what? Now if you run, it runs. It's showing. Look at it here. Then you now need to set title so it looks like something that you understand. Maybe you have something like this. Maybe something like this. Or if you like the one here, this very one, we had employed layout managers here. That's why you can see it arranged like this. So I think layout managers and some other functionalities, we're going to discuss them later. It is very simple, but for now let us just use what we can. This is using flow layout. It continues to arrange component until when it reaches to the end of the size of the panel, then it stopped. That's why if you take it this way, it reduces. If you take it that way, so let me make it this way.
Is it the default one? Is it the default layout?
Yes, flow layout. That's the default flow layout. So let us set size. This dot set size. You set size. Sorry, not shape. Set size. So the size is in dimension. Let me give it 250 by 80, for example. This dot set title. The title is CCL what? CCL enrollment. So you see, this is what I've given. No. I'm supposed to give this to here, and that's. Okay. I'm just resizing. Okay. So are we able to get this? When we click on the function, this, it doesn't function anything. Nothing comes in, nothing comes up. Now you see our programs are here. You can always add, you can reduce, you can even set this to a table so that you'll be calling the programs from the table. Are we there? So now we need to concentrate on the functionality for the button. So let us quickly register the button on JFrame. So it enables us to do that. Registering to JFrame, what we do is to call it. We said btmc dot add action listener. This, but before I do this, okay, let me just add. I've registered into the, you see it's giving me error. The method action is abstract. It's not applicable for the argument CCL enrollment. You have to, employ the implement here. Implement actual listener. Then it will ask you to add some unimplemented methods. You see them down here. Can you see that error goes off? It's because you cannot do functionality. You can't register button on JFrame without you adding that implement. And then this is where you do your functionality stuff here. Make this E or any letter you like. But actually, I think when we come next, you see how I'm not going to use this action perform like this. I'll make it in form of inner class. That is better when you are handling a very large code that has to do with functionalities like this. That is very, very, it gives you, it's more it becomes more handy and controllable, very much controllable. End of the method. Then I will employ E. If the get source, if it is from BTN, if it is the BTN say that triggers the event, you do this. Okay, let us just test the event. Let us test the button and make sure that it is working before we start doing the functionalities of the day. Let me just collect and set it on the panel or something or somewhere. I can see. Let me collect something. TXT CCL number, and then .get text, .string, .string. I collected and I converted to string. So that I want to set into TXT program, for example. Sorry, TXT email. I'm just citing an example. I just want to make sure that things are okay. So set text. So, and I added. Can you see I added multiple functionalities here. I don't know if anyone understands what I've done. If the CCL number, for example, CCL, this is just an example. CCL number 2021 from 001, for example. If I click on it, can you see it has set on here, right? So that means the button works. This is just a test. So let me remove this. It's just a test, and nothing but a test. Right? So back to the topic of today. We want to configure Jdbc and we want to work with database. The first thing is, let us get the database created. So please come to here where workbench. Let us create a database. Create database, and this database we give it name called 2021 CCL. It's most likely, okay, I don't know whether I have CCL enrollment. CCL enrollment. No, let's just leave it like that. CCL enrollment. If it works, then all right, it has created, right? So let's search it. Okay, I have it here. Let me make it active. It has been made active. So let's add some tables on it. Already I have a table here, and it was sent to you as an assignment to create a table. This is the table we're going to use. So I'm going to use this table, CCL program, into CCL enrollment. This is what it has: the ID, the CCL number, the email, and the what. So we have composite key. We have ID and CCL number as what? Primary key. So we'll do this, and then we're done with this. Show tables now. Okay, it seems it hasn't created the table. Alright, it has created now. So if you check the table, nothing is inside. There's nothing in. Nothing, right? You can also describe to see the structure. So our DB is this. Now let's go back to the code. Now we want to create connectivity. So from our list of this we done, read. So this is what we'll do. First of all, Jdbc installation. We discussed this in the theory class yesterday. This is how you set your Jdbc installation. You come to C and check your program files where your Java program is located, whether on the 86 or on the program files. So you check on Java, then you check on the JDK. It normally picks the, unless if you specify from your program, from your projects, but it picks the latest one in most cases. So if you double click JDK 8, that's the latest one I have. There are ways of installing it, but the ideal way is just you can come to bin, and then you click, you paste. This is your Jdbc, MySQL connector, Java, whatever. So you check on the version of your MySQL database and the version, compatible version for the Jdbc compatible version. Mostly if you are using MySQL 5 point, I think whatever number, once it is 5.1, 2.2, whatever function, you can use from version 5.1. It works. So you see, this is how you install. If you don't, you copy this. Just click on this. Try to copy the MySQL something here. If you click, then you copy it, and then you go and set what we call environment variable. You can check from here, from your the PC here. You can check on your environment variable. Come to advanced, then settings. You come to environment variable, then you come to path here. Then you click on edit. You terminate any environment variable you pasted with semicolon. You terminate, that's the statement terminator. Then you paste. If you are using Windows 10, it's going to be different. It's going to be different, but it's a virtually similar case. You can just search the environment variable like this, and it pops up. You pick the environment variable, come to system variable, and then you paste that path. That path may not, if it did not work for you, for example, then you have to come to library, sorry, what do you call it, a JDK, then you come to GRE, then you come to library, then you move to extension, and then you press. Can you see I also have it here? Then you pick this as what? You take this. It is the path I need. You copy the path so you don't make mistake while writing, and then you set your environment variable. By the time you do that, you're good to go. Then when you are able to do that, then you do what we call, you test the Jdbc configuration. You test it. How do you test it? These are some of the commands we use for the configuration of Jdbc. You're not doing anything, just copy this, go to your source code, come to here. Within the source code, you create a method. This is what within the class, you create a method. This is main method. All right. This is another method. If you like, it could be anywhere. Let me say connect to DB, for example. Okay. Connect to DB. So it's going to be public void connect to DB. Is there? End of the method. Connect to DB. Connect. You say? Okay. You don't see spelling. When somebody is writing code, just tell me that C is not there. This is spelling. Maybe I may not really understand what you're doing. It has to be within try catch. Even if you don't put try catch, if you paste it like this, there's going to be a kind of error. It tells you that you have to add it into, you either add throws or you surround it with try catch. Can you see what is it? Huh? So what have we done here? We can introduce the .new instance. Sometimes it may not work. You can just leave it the way it is. So let's check now. What I want us to do is to check whether we connected successfully or not. So if this connection is true, then we write something that says what? Connection is what? Successful. Thank you. Because it's going to run from here. If there is error within here, then it will state it for us here that there is error. So you see what? This is even system error. It will give you a red color. That what? Connection not successful. When you say connection not successful, this is programmers connection not successful. This is programmers what? Wordings, right? You need to call the E, which is the object of the instance of the error. You call it and say what? E.get message. It will print out the stack stress for you. Okay? Then so this is just a method we created. Let me call the method within our button here. So when I click on the button, the method becomes active, invoked. Is it? Then we invoke it here. So when I click, can you see what happened? That the connection is what? Successful. So please, let's do something here. Let us deliberately do something that will not make it successful. You know, we all know that we're connecting with Jdbc and we're connecting Jdbc MySQL, right? Let me remove L here deliberately and run the program. And then click on, please can you see the arrow here? Huh? So let's trace the arrow. What did this say? Connection not successful. What is the problem? com.mysql. You see, it pulls out what's where the error comes from for you to see. So you have to be careful. A realistic programmer shouldn't be somehow confused with error message. Whenever error message pops up, you go directly to the stack trace. Try to see what the error is all about. So you see now, this connection not successful. That's programmers, wordings or statements. But the actual thing that occurs, in which the compiler pulls out from you, that is the Java compiler, is this. So it tells you what? Java lang class not found exception. It tells you it doesn't have a class like this. Alright, are we there? You see, class not found exception, it might refer to it might be a situation whereby you haven't installed the Jdbc driver. It tells you that, oh, if you have issues with the connection string, that's the connection string where we remove that. So now, if you want to, please look at what happened here. If you want to, get into where the error started, you just click on this. You see your class name here. Click on this. It tells you 86. That it means line number 86. You see, it shows you where the problem is all about, where the problem started. Okay, so I took it back now. If you click, you see no error. It tells you successful without issues. So now, please let us quickly go and import a kind of tuple there. It tells you successful here, right? Whenever you click, it tells you successful because it will read, it will compile, and it sends to you. So now, actually, this video is going to be lengthy. We have to actually, you bear with us. I cannot cut it. It's going to be lengthy. Let us continue now. So when we run, it loads the program, and this is what we have. And when you click on this, it tells you that connection is successful when you check from here. Now, but the main thing we wanted doing is to insert these things into tuples. I mean, to insert the tuples into what? Into database. Please, let's understand this. We say that's the main aim. The aim is when I click on this save button, it picks the decision number, it picks the email, it picks whatever, and it's insert into what? Into the database. And it picks the program like as it is. So now, we've already created the database. We've done a lot. Now let us quickly go and create the functionalities that will insert tuples into database. The first thing we do is we need what we call prepare statement. If you can recall from our topic, right when we started, we talk about prepare statement here. I think the next one. Is it? Yes, I think this. I talked about prepare statement. I talked about Jdbc connection, testing of Jdbc configuration, and then DB URL settings, and then statements, prepare statement, and statement. I think we discussed the theoretical, differences behind these two. We're going to use prepare statement, and then we insert tuple into the DB. So let's quickly do that. You have to come over here and create all these kind of things. First of all, we need to create we need to define, rather we need to declare what we call connection. You can give it connection if you like, or con. connection. You need connection. Whenever you want to interact with database, you need connection. Can you see what I'm supposed to import? Java.what?
SQL.
It is a Java.sql class. The library, this is the library. It comes from this library. You need to import the library. So this is the class connection, and I think I also need prepare statement. I don't think if we're going to use prepare statement today. I think I only need connection. Okay, prepare statement. Let's make it go to prepare statement. The thing is capital P. Prepare statement. I can say PS. In most cases, we call it PS. You can write prepare statement, please. Okay. So please come down to the button here. You see, this is a very good scenario. We invoked this for us to test what? We invoke it for us to test not the button, the connection, to connect to DB. Okay. So you see, you have two options. The best way of connecting to database and insertion of connecting to database, the best way is to actually connect, to have a single method that does that connection. And whenever you need it, you call the method and then you make use of it. And make sure that you rinse out. So please, let's come over here and do something here. Let us do the proper thing here. What I mean by proper, it's to connect to the database. This we just loaded the DB. This is what we loaded the Jdbc. The Jdbc what? Driver. That's what we did. But we haven't done the proper connectivity to the database. We need to call the database, we need to call the connection manager and the driver manager, and then we connect to the database. We supply the three parameters for it. So what we do is to start with what we call the DB URL. Give it a string here, it's a local variable. So here I'm trying to give out the connection parameters, the database connection parameters here. Database connection parameters. So we have URL here. URL. What kind of URL? DB URL. This is the DB URL. And in the DB URL, what we have? We have a connection. I don't want to. Let me just copy it so we don't make mistakes here. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So this is what I wanted to do. Let us just go by this so we explain. Because by the time a mistake is done here, there's going to be lots of issues here. Please look over here. Let me remove this that is going to confuse you. Please forget about this. We're talking about UTF-8. Just this is enough. The first thing we need as a parameter to connect to the database is what? The URL. That is the database URL. So the URL comes with this Jdbc MySQL, and then this specifies the server or the system you're connecting to. If you are connecting to a server, you call the server name here. So localhost is my development machine. So this is the what post number, and this is the database name. But our database is not. Our database is never. That's not our. This is our database. So let me copy the database. Okay. So this is our database name. So we're done with that. That is the URL. URL means universal resource locate. It is what locates a resource for you. Then I want to connect as root, and the password I use as root in the case of the blog name in this training, I use this password. Okay. So this I did not specify the connection as connection. I declared it as con. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, I declared it as con. So okay, it's asking of true catch, but then you are within cache run, but you can throw the catch. It's not a problem. So it send it to the JVM. So this now we've done. I'm sorry. Let me reduce this one. Let me just put within try catch. It's okay. So instead of me merging this, let me put everything within this try catch. And it's correct, it's right. It has to be within try catch. So we're done now. We're done with the connect to DB. We connected to database. Now what remains is for us to insert you into the database. We want to insert into DB. So it's when I click on the whenever I click on the command button, this button here, it will first of all call this method, which is what connect to DB. So it will connect to the database. After the connection to database, then you then have prepare statement, and then you start working with your prepare statement and connection. I don't know if I'm talking, because this connect to DB, if you look at it very well, it gives you what you see. This you're going to use this connection that has been established by the driver manager and the connection method. So now insertion of tuples. This video is going to be lengthy actually. Insertion of tuples into what? Into the database. What you do is first of all you bring what you call a query string. So this query string, this is where you write your query. Okay. This is what I'm doing. This is my query string. So I'll write the query as we used to write that directly on the SQL, and then you call your prepare statement, and you have your connection, and then you continue. So please let us write the how do I insert into this table. And this is how the table looks like. ID number, ID this. What do I do? Insert into table name. Now I'll call this, right? So let's insert it together. insert into the table name is what? Look at the table name here. CCL program. Then what? Values. Open close bracket. So what am I inserting? The first thing I insert is what? ID. And ID was meant to be auto incremental. Can you see? So I insert, I can say, if I like, I can say null here. Okay? Oh, I shouldn't confuse you. Let me represent it with placeholder. That's why we say prepare statement. We supply it later. So I'm going to replace how many placeholders? 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 4 of it. Is it not?
Yes.
1. Another one here. So before I move further, I need to collect what CCL number is all about. I need to collect email address, and I need to collect something from here, right? Is it not?
Yes.
So let us do something here. 1. First of all, I need to get CCL number. Even though that's not the implementation of the CCL number, the system generated. But as for today's lesson, we're going to supply it. In subsequent class, you see how we generated ourselves. CCL number, then I will call txt CCL number dot get text dot what dot to string. So I've collected now. Next is I need to collect email. Is it string email equals to txt email id dot get text dot what dot to string. Next I need to collect program. Is it program? Then this program is a combo. It is the only combo we have. So combo dot get selected item, not index, please. You have to be careful. Get selected item. Of course, it will give you this error because this is an item, while this is a string. So you need to do what we call typecasting. You typecast, you call a string here, then it will go up. Are we there? It will go. Even if you say dot to string, it's a waste of time. But this has already converted it. So we collected how many? 3. But how many do we have here?
4.
So let's see how we resolve this. Now we need to call our prepared statement. What we call, I think we call it PS, right? Prepared statement equals, is it PS?
Yes.
But it's like it's not giving me. Prepare statement. Okay. All right. Prepare statement equals connection con the prepare statement. Okay. Then you call this string. Here you are passing your query string is the prepare statement per parameter. Okay, we didn't surround. All right, it's right. We need to surround all these within try catch. Then you can pick that's why I told you the best way of writing functionalities in a huge program is to use inner class, not this if e.get source. We're going to do inner class in our next class, inshallah. So what I will do is to introduce a try catch. So you see here, I'm going to use the the connection we created there, right? So when I introduce try catch, I'll do the necessary things here, and then finally, whenever I'm done with it, I do what? I rinse out. I close it. So if by the time you pick all this in here, okay, the error goes off. It tells you it is a risky code, so you need to really I'm trying to format. You see, I formatted the codes here. So you see, this is what I have in the try catch. If there is any error in here, the error will be written, will be catched by the catch part, the catch block. It sets the error and it will catch it, it will trap it. So here we can see error in tuple or in enrollment. Whose statement is this? Developer statement. But then you try to catch the error by getting the message from the JVM. Then finally here, you close everything you open. What are those things we open? You open connection. You open statement. So you now say PS, which is our statement. Did what? Close. 2. Statement, right? Okay, it's also complaining about the try catch, and it's right. And then PS, is it PS? Yeah, connection, but what? It closed. So here you can just call E. She's out. You said? Okay. Finally catch error. I try to separate it from the insert catch. Okay, it closed. Thank you. It's a method. So now we run our program and our database by the site. This is just an example. Is the system that they're supposed to do this CCL number, but then let's say CCL. Okay, you're not seeing, right? Muhib, where are you? You kept quiet. What happened? CCL slash what? Let's say 2021. Depending how we organize it, and then the program, any program selected from here. Let's say we're going to select Java SE. You see, that's why we said it is a system that will do this for us. Java SE. We shall showcase how we're going to do that. 001, maybe the first person. Email address Muhib at hotmail.com, for example. Please, this is an assignment. I'm going to give you an assignment right now. Java SE, then you click. It says connection successful. That means it is successful. We haven't written any command or any string that will pop up when it is successful. Let's check from the database. So let's run this command. Okay, it seems there is something, there is a problem. Okay, I haven't finished the query. Yes, please look up here. How was the one? I'm sorry. So this we inserted, right? Then you have to execute. You now say ps dot what? Execute update. If you are inserting, you execute update. If you are selecting, you execute query. Please, let's understand this. And then quickly you do something here. Can we use J option pen, or we use, since it is let's use J option pen, since it is a GUI application, right? Let us use J option pen dot set message. Huh? Dot show message. Thank you. Dot show message. Not confirm. Show message. The show message. I need the one with only how many components? Okay, I think this will work for us. The show message. This will work. Only 2 components, so you don't have much to do. The show message. Okay, let me pick the one with 3 components so we can. Okay, here it's referring to how it displays, and this is. Are you sure? Yeah, this is the message. You say tuple inserted. For example, correctly. You can write anything you want. Next is the label of the dialog box. Enrollment. Successful enrollment. Next is the kind of J option pen you want. You can now say J option pen dot, see, dot what? Dot, I think, information message, right? That it should give us information message. There is cancel message, warning message, whatever. So let me repeat what I've written the other time. CCL 2021. What? Java a system does this for us. That today we're doing it 00 muhib@gmail.com. It says Java AC. There is an error. Okay. I did not specify parameters. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm so eager to finish this. I have to specify. You see the importance of that catching. It tells you the error. So please let us specify parameters. How many parameters do we have? 4 parameters. 4 parameters. Look at them here. All these are parameters. So you now say prepare statement. Dot set string if it is string. If it is not, you give it the appropriate type. This is not parameter number 1, and this number 1, you check from your DB, it is your ID. You don't need to put anything since it is auto incremental. ps.set string. The parameter 2 is what? CCL number, which we've collected, and it is here. Okay. The parameter 3 is what? Email. Parameter 4, it is the program. Then you execute. So let's run for this number of times. CCL 2021 Java SE 001. We need to do this automatically, but for now, as we keep saying, muhib at yahoo.com. For example, then you select Java SE or any program you like and you click. It tells you what tuple inserted correctly. Let's check from the DB here. Can we see it here? That's why here we say we're not going to enter anything. It is incremental. Okay, let's quickly do for another person. Okay, it's supposed to wipe out when it finishes, so you clear it. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Here, instead of Muhib Baba, let me say Abdul at gmail.com, and maybe 2 here, and you click. It inserts. Then let's run it and see. Can we see 2? So we'll have to stop the video here so it doesn't get too lengthy.